Alrighty, looks like we're just about. Yes, we're live, we're live, we're live. Ladies and gentlemen, we're live streaming right across YouTube, Facebook, etc. For a playback. And welcome online, everybody. We have people logged in. I can see in the chat from wherever we got. Western Australia. We have Washington State, Canada, Las Vegas. People typing in crowns. If you weren't on early enough, you wouldn't have heard what was playing before, and you won't know what we're talking about in terms of crowns. So if you want to be a crown, log in early, please. Calgary, Canada. What else have we got? New Zealand, Nova Scotia, Gloria Parks, Canada. Good pick for song. There you go. Someone gave it away. And Louisiana, Israel. Welcome online, Israel. Anaheim or Anthem. Okay. Anyway, somewhere else, Chicago, Indonesia, Israel, to Trinidad and Tobago. There you go. We've got people on from absolutely everywhere. Guys, today I'm just your host, if you like. I asked a number of people around the world who were diamond and above just to give us a quick short video. And it works easier for me when I've got lots of videos because getting everybody's timing lined up is often quite difficult, just so we're clear, right? But when we can pre-record stuff, then I can actually put them into segments and stuff that'll make it easier. So I say to people that if you want to be really huge in this industry, there's a couple of things you've got to master. Firstly, you're going to master what's between your ears. And then you also have to master an invitation. That's the first skill. So often people jump straight into making phone calls without practice. That's fraught with danger. They're the sort of people who get those statistics of the average person introducing 2.8 people because they stop at the 20th friend because they've said it all wrong, they've buggered it up, and they go, this is hard, it doesn't work. No, it works. You just didn't practice your profession. The other people who we get the 130-10 stats from are the people who ring 100 people because they've practiced their approach, their energy's high, they know what they're doing, they've treated it like a profession, and bang, their results start to shine. And then, of course, going from there, people can go from getting a product for free or getting your money back, according to Aaron, I love that, getting a product for free, getting some lifestyle benefits of a few $100s, $500, $1,000 a month. And then eventually the ultimate goal for a lot of people is diamond, double diamond, triple diamond, crown, as per the music. And so what we've asked people to do, we want you to understand that you don't realize the impact of one phone call. Now, I'm looking at a guy right now myself, and I'm not in these videos today, but he knows I'm looking. He's put his thumbs up. That's Larry. And so one contact, where can one contact take you? Well, through one contact, thanks to Larry, my business is in most poles of the earth. And it went from one person to person to person, Karen Justice, and off we went. And, we're in all parts of the world. But it's not about me. I'm just telling you, it's more about Larry, right? That you never know where one person might know someone that can lead to someone or lead to someone else. So today, what we're going to do, we're going to have some diamonds share with you. Now, purposefully, on purpose, because we are in 74 countries, we have so many different languages. I've taken two people who don't speak English. Well, they can speak English, but I've taken them and asked them to speak in their local language, and I've put some subtitles on. Now, some of you who are complainers, not leaders, are going to go, oh, it's hard to read that. Grow up, right? What I'm getting at is today we're here to learn how to be a leader. And if it means you have to pay attention and read one of the interviews, big deal. You're going to take out of that all the good stuff that you need if you want to be a leader in this business. So today is just a medley of a number of people that I'm going to table to you to have a listen to. Just got to make sure I've got them in the right order. That's right. And the first guy, I love this because the first guy actually isn't someone in my team at all. It's actually a gentleman by the name of Peter Nagy. It's funny because when I met Peter, I said, mate, we could have been born from the same household because he kind of has a similar look to me. But he also has very similar perspective on the world. And so I want you to listen to this. And I said, Peter, when he recorded, I said, Peter, out of all the videos that I got, honestly, I think yours has probably hit the mark so well. I want to play it first. Okay. So rather than say any more, have a listen to Peter has to say, and I'm going to call this the ripple effect. So have a listen to this.
Hi, my name is Peter Nagy. I'm a double diamond in NUMMI. I started working with a company in very beginning or last month of 2023. And in short, my life completely changed. That's one way due to the products, but obviously due to the business. I was doing software sales before and actually was living here in Florida. But when I started the business, I moved back to Hungary because I thought I can help in my country, help people to make more money. That's much more of a need in Eastern Europe than in the US. So I got this opportunity, and as a result, my life changed, not because I make more money than I have been making more before. I can travel. And and a funny fact is that I was doing the same video yesterday, but my camera was in the wrong angle, vertical, not horizontal. So I have to redo it. But yesterday I was doing this video in New York. Today I'm in Florida, and that's the point. I can travel. I can work anywhere, wherever I go, and I can engage with people wherever I go. I can find new people who wants to change their life or want to do something bigger or better in their life. And this was my problem, because I was working with a software company within a little cubicle, and I have to fight for time at Christmas to be able to go home and see my family. I have to fight with other people who fight this quote-unquote fight to get the time, and they were there 10 years ago, so they got the better time off than I had. I was able to take a few days between the two Christmas and New Year's. They would probably take the whole time, so I had no chance. And I made money. I could buy the airplane ticket and go wherever I want to go, but I just didn't have time for it. Now I have money and I have time. I'm not rich. You can calculate how much money the Double Diamond makes, but it's enough to be able to travel non-stop if I want to. I don't have a family, so I live myself, so that also helps in traveling. Now, the other point that I was told to say a few words about it, how I was able to affect, through the company, through NewMe, other people's life. And that's also interesting. I had a long-time connection, a long-time friend, 70 years old. He started taking NewMe, and within a couple of weeks, he was showing me how he's able to straight up his finger. He can go up the second floor without stopping at the turns and catching up on his breath. So his life changed, and he started talking about this to many different people. He find his old friend from school. She's a businessman, and that businesswoman, she getting connection with, you probably know or hear about Peter Rainer, Double Diamond, Sándor Puskás, his partner, and Peter's wife, Aniko. They started doing the business. What happened with the people between us? I started working with them very direct, and spending a lot of time with them, helping them kick off the NewMe in Hungary, Poland, and Romania. Now it's over to Italy. So all these three countries, the business is growing. And what happened with Janos? Janos is the guy who I talked to as a 70-year-old who had a finger wasn't straight. He has a huge business under him, and he's making double the amount of money with NewMe than his pension. He's not doing a business. If he needs to order products, he's calling either me or calling the friend of his, a lady, to help to get on the website and order the products. That much he doesn't know about about how to do the business or how to navigate the website. But that's not needed. What's needed is you being interested in helping others, having a story, and share it with people. And you can imagine what could happen. It's not a promise. It's not going to happen with everybody, but it could happen. And what could happen if somebody doesn't do this? We already know. Your life, or whoever is listening to this, if your life was in a certain way in the past 3 years, and you don't change anything, the next 3 years probably going to be the same. So that's the difference here. We are changing lives, and I wish you the best, and I wish you your life changes as well. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Beautiful. How awesome was that? Now, what did you actually learn out of that? Maybe type it in. Uh, Someone's just asking you a question. That was private. Okay, cool. I can't read private messages while we're presenting, guys. Send me something on a text later. Um, so what did you learn out of that? Now, the biggest thing I got out of that, other than the ripple effect of you just never know where one phone call will go to the next person and the next person, like the Larry example, right? Helping others. Yep, beautiful. See that in the chat. Have gratitude for what true lifestyle and freedom is. You don't need to be earning a crown income to be free. Chances are a double diamond income, like you said, where you can travel at will, is everything you need. So that's the big thing. Have gratitude for the little things. Yeah. What have we got here? He called someone who changed other people's lives. Leverage. Yep. You never know where your contacts are going to impact your business. Absolutely. 70-year-old person was the bridge. And that's the thing. Sometimes people go, oh, what sort of people, is the demographic for this, Michael? And I'm like, everyone. And they're like, yeah, no, but what's the ideal person? It doesn't matter because someone can lead you to someone who leads you to somebody who leads you to somebody else. And then kaboom, things will take off and you end up in a brand new country. Now, Peter, I want to say this, Peter Nagy and Peter Rayner and all that team, and not even in my team, they are true servant leaders. They don't have this jealous or just my team. They also help me with a lot of the translation of some of the tools you've been receiving, right? So they are greater good philosophy, which I love. The other thing I want to say too is I said before, making phone calls is the first skill, getting between what's in between your ears is the other one. So a good leader, or so I should say a poor leader in network marketing is really good at sponsoring people and just throws mud against the wall continuously and goes, look at me, I'm the number one sponsor, look at me, look at me, look at me, but doesn't reach down and help individuals to drive depth in a team. Now, for us, what we need to do is if you have any team member, anyone in your team who has a lack of belief in Numi, a lack of belief in the industry, a lack of belief in themselves, these are the sorts of things they need to be watching. So after this call, make sure they go and watch exactly what you just saw. Now, let's go another part of the world. And I asked them specifically to do this for me. I actually have Ronan and Alexandra. I've asked them if they could record a video for me in Hebrew. Now, you could have listened to it in English because they speak fine English, but I want to acknowledge the fact that we are global. So I asked them to do it in Hebrew, and then I've put some subtitles on the bottom. So it's only 4 minutes, so pay attention. Get your eyeballs off everything else you're doing and read what they're saying at the bottom of the screen, because this has also got another ripple effect of positivity as it goes around the world as well. So let's listen to this one.
שלום, אנחנו רונן ואלכסנדר בראון, דאבל דיימונד בחברת נעמי. הרקע שלי הוא שלפני למעלה מ-30 שנה נכנסתי לעניין ללמוד רפואה ולהשתמש ברפואה טבעית מצורך אישי. לפני 17 שנה פגשנו את סטיבן קסקוט, שהוא הבעלים של נעמי היום, ונשארנו איתו בקשר עם שיתופי פעולה שונים. לפני 5 שנים סטיב פתח את חברת נעמי, שהגיעה לעולם בשביל לשווק את המוצרים הנפלאים שמבוססים על טכנולוגיה ייחודית שסטיב פיתח, וכשאני ראיתי את הטכנולוגיה הזאת עם הידע שלי במה שנמצא בשווקים, הבנתי שהטכנולוגיה הזאת הולכת לשנות את העולם, וכדאי לקחת את ההזדמנות הזאת גם מבחינה עסקית. ואכן הצטרפנו לנעמי לא רק בתור לקוחות, אלא גם בתור משווקים, ואנחנו מאוד שמחים שעשינו את זה. מה שזה נתן לנו, זה נתן לנו את האפשרות לעשות מה שאנחנו באמת אוהבים לעשות, וזה להביא ידע ומוצרים נפלאים לאנשים, דברים שממש משנים חיים לטובה, ובאותו זמן גם כן לייצר הכנסות שמאפשרות לנו חופש כלכלי יותר טוב, מאפשר לנו להסתובב בעולם, לספר את הסיפור, לשתף את המוצרים, וגם כן לעבוד עם אנשים שאנחנו אוהבים, ונמצאים באותו, איך שנקרא באנגלית, מיינדסט כמונו. רופאים, מדענים, מטפלים, אנשים חיוביים שרוצים לשנות את העולם לטובה. יש לנו כמובן הרבה עדויות מהשימוש בחומר. אני אישית לא אלך בלי לעשות סוויש לפחות 2-3 ביום, וגם לאלכסנדרה יש סיפור מאוד מעניין עם אחד המוצרים שלנו.
כן, אני הייתי כבר כמה שנים אחרי גיל המעבר, ופתאום הרגשתי שיש לי ירידה משמעותית באנרגיה, ולא ידעתי מה לעשות. חיפשתי, ניסיתי כמה דברים, שום דבר לא עזר לי, והאנרגיה שלי הייתה נמוכה. ואז, באותו זמן, נומי יצא עם המוצר הרס, שתומך במערכת הורמונלית של האישה, וניסיתי אותו. תוך 3 ימים התעוררתי, אני זוכרת, היה יום ראשון, התעוררתי בבוקר והרגשתי שיש לי אנרגיה. ישר יצאתי מהמיטה, התחלתי להסתובב, לעשות דברים שכבר חודשים לא יכולתי לעשות, ויצאנו לבלות באותו יום, ומאז יש לי אנרגיה, אני חסרתי לעצמי, אני מרגישה כאילו חסרתי שנים אחורה עם ה-level של האנרגיה שיש לי.
אני מסכם את זה במשפט אחד, באנגלית, I got my wife back, קיבלתי את אשתי חזרה, וזה היה ממש נפלא. תוך כדי העבודה שלנו עם נומי, אחד מהחלומות שלי היה להביא את הידע ואת המוצרים של גלוטטיון לישראל, גלוטטיון שבאמת עובד, לא כדורים, אלא משהו שבאמת אפקטיבי בגוף, ברמה התאית. ולפני כשנתיים הצלחנו להביא, על ידי שיתוף פעולה עם גם חברים שהכרנו מזמן, וגם עם חברים חדשים שהכרנו תוך כדי העבודה שלנו עם אנשים פה בארצות הברית. ועכשיו החומרים, המוצרים שלנו וגם ההזדמנות העסקית נמצאים בישראל, אפשר לקחת את ההזדמנויות האלה, ואני שמח להגיד שחלק מהאנשים שמתעסקים איתנו ועוזרים לנו בארץ, מרוויחים טוב מזה, וגם כן מרגישים טוב כמובן, כי לעזור לאנשים זה הדבר הכי חשוב, לדעתנו, לעזור לאנשים אחרים לחיות חיים יותר טובים, גם מבחינה בריאותית, וגם לתת להם את ההזדמנות העסקית, זה אחד הדברים שהם הכי מספקים בחיים. אז אני מזמין את כולכם ללמוד יותר על ניומי, ואולי להצטרף איתנו ולעזור לנו. אז תודה רבה ושלום.
שלום.
Beautiful. So there's a totally different perspective. What did you get out of that interview, right? It can be a product that, like I joined knowing it was glutathione, then we moved into the HERS product, and then the HERS product made a difference to Alexandra, and then Alexandra's gone out and told the world from there. Not only that, and by the way, do not dare make this about politics, Israel, Palestine, all that rubbish. Drop that out. This is a business, right? And we are here for all human beings across the world. And so with that in mind, there are now people in Israel that can benefit as well from this amazing product that will transform health and wellness as well. So I'll share the story. I said, Larry, before, I introduced a gentleman on day one, which was actually James Lewis, the beautiful James Lewis with the Georgian accent, right? And James happened to contact Ronan, and off we went, and the rest is history. Another country opens up. Back to the ripple effect. You never know where one phone call is going to take you, where one product experience will take someone around the rest of the world to another place that you probably never even thought of. Now, let's go back to an English accent because it makes it easier. I've spaced these out on purpose so that you don't get overwhelmed trying to read. Having said that, another beautiful lady, and this one's amazing because, and I'll let her go through her story first, but at the end, I'm going to tell you, this has had one of the biggest impacts on the whole of Numi worldwide. So have a listen to this. Beautiful person. All right.
Good evening. I'm Beth Amonette. You may know me. I got into network marketing in about 1989, and I worked very, very hard and was very successful considering how few people are, to the degree that I reached the compensation plan of 3 companies, the top, and I was on a few advisory boards. So I learned a lot, but I had grown very weary of the industry and moved to Hawaii and didn't really pick it up much there. I got back to Texas in the latter part of the 2000 teens, and Karen called me in 2022. I met Karen at Celtech. We were double diamonds there, and she told me about this company, Numi, and I hadn't heard of it, of course. It was only 6 months old, and there were only 5,000 people in it at that time. And so I got to work, and I knew that we had an owner who was a great Christian man, and we had a product that was completely unique and proven through science to get the glutathione into the body. And this was groundbreaking. So I went to work, and I have to tell you, it's changed my life. I was very poor. I had had some horrible things happen to me, and it changed everything. So what I want to tell you tonight is what to do with your business. You've got to have heart. You've got to understand that what this company is the real thing. This is the real product and the real company. You're going to see lots of companies out there come and go. They'll have big openings and they have gimmicks and they tell you all kinds of things, but I've never seen anything like this in my entire history of network marketing. So just pay attention to what's happening with your people and train them how to make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month, and then take them farther if that's what they want, because it's there. It's just a question of a process. You just work from one step to the next. All the steps are very well documented in our back office, and just tell the story. Tell the story about how NUMMI was founded. Tell them about Stephen K. Scott. Tell them about the compensation plan. Tell them about how they do it, so that they know that it's not so difficult. It's very simple. It does take time. They're not going to make $1 million in 2 weeks, but they will start to earn money. And the more they earn, the more excited they'll be. So I just am glad to be here. I don't know what I would be doing if I hadn't found NUMMI. I'm so happy with all the people in my group, which has gotten very large. And I have to say that there are miracles happening all the time. One in particular keeps coming to mind is a man in Central America who sponsored a couple of really great people, but he had to leave the business. He couldn't do it for about 1.5 years, almost 2 years. And in the meantime, his family was earning money. He was gone, but his family was earning money. And then he got back and he was a 3-star, and now he's gotten to work and he's become diamond. And it's just the most fascinating thing. And that's the genius of network marketing. It just does happen like that sometimes. So everybody know you're in the right place at the right time. And thank you very much for your attention.
You know what? Beth is upline to Poland, all of the explosive growth going on in Spain at the moment. And she is the definition of what I would call a beautiful, big-hearted servant leader. She works like a trooper. She doesn't just sit on the top of a mountain where all of these people are building their businesses. She's deep down in a business, in a leg where probably not the most profitable place for her to be working, but she's doing it anyway and she's just known through her whole group as being a beautiful person who's all about support, which is fantastic. So again, what did you get out of that interview? Type in some thoughts. What's some thoughts about that one? Train your people to make $500 to $1,000 a month. Yep. And I love how Aaron brought that back. And sometimes we lose touch with that. So I think that was really good that they did that. Become the storyteller. Yep. Congratulations to the success. Yep. So again, it's the ripple effect, guys. The whole of Poland would not have existed if Beth said no. It might through another way eventually, but all the people who are currently in the team, because it's through person to person to person, probably wouldn't have existed at all. Now, the next interview is a little longer. Only a little bit. I just realized when people often say to me, Michael, slow down, you're speaking too fast in all the different languages. And then I had to listen to this and I've gone, oh, I know what they mean. So this beautiful lady, Anne Terrell, actually does speak as fast as I do in French. So the subtitles are really going to give your eyeballs a workout. That's all I'm going to say. But this is a fantastic interview. So pay attention from start to finish of what she has to say. And why is it not playing? Hang on a sec. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll just reload it. All right. Where are we? And start from scratch. And sorry, guys. I've got backups on backups on backups of these interviews. Here we go. Got you there. Take two. Let's see if this one.
Bonjour à tous.
Yeah, here we go. All right. Technology. It's all good when it works.
Bonjour à tous, donc je m'appelle Anne-Laure Terrail, je vis dans un petit village du sud-ouest de la France. Mon parcours, eh bien, je suis quelqu'un qui, d'aussi loin que je me souvienne, a toujours cherché du sens à ce que je pouvais vivre, à pourquoi j'étais présente sur Terre, comment améliorer ma vie, comment aider les gens. Une quête de se sentir bien depuis très 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 longtemps. Au fil du temps, j'ai fait différentes activités qui m'ont permis d'être autonome très rapidement. J'avais un besoin d'autonomie, un besoin de croissance aussi. Et de fil en aiguille, je me suis retrouvée à gérer une maison d'hôtes en partenariat avec ma maman, qui m'accompagne sur beaucoup de projets dans ma vie d'ailleurs. Et au fil du temps, je sentais que justement cette maison d'hôtes était un poids véritable au niveau physique, au niveau de mon corps. Et j'avais donc déjà fait du marketing de réseau qui s'est soldé par une escroquerie. J'ai été volée, on a été tous volés d'ailleurs dans cette compagnie, qui m'a laissé un goût amer en me disant, bon, ben moi, je suis pas dans une bonne vibration, je n'attire pas à moi les bonnes opportunités. Je préfère prendre le temps de me former, de continuer à apprendre sur moi, à apprendre comment obtenir ce que je désire dans la vie. J'ai toujours été ouverte à cette dimension de création intentionnelle, délibérée, on va l'appeler la loi de l'attraction. J'ai vraiment été très attirée par ce pouvoir qu'on a en nous. Et d'ailleurs, la vie m'a amenée à devoir l'exprimer et le vivre, puisque j'ai vécu des choses un peu bizarres, mais qui sont absolument incroyables et qui m'ont amenée donc à pouvoir communiquer autour de moi au maximum le fait de pouvoir créer sa vie telle qu'on le désire et telle qu'on en a vraiment envie. Donc, au fil du temps, je repensais au marketing de réseau, qui est quand même une solution vraiment incroyable pour pouvoir gagner sa vie et dans l'abondance sans limite. Je voyais des personnes autour de moi qui réussissaient. Moi, avec mon parcours où je vais dire que j'ai toujours été dans une espèce de minimalisme, mais en vivant correctement, mais sans excès. Je n'ai jamais été motivée par l'argent comme un but en soi. Mon objectif était de me sentir bien, d'être bien, de donner le meilleur de moi-même et d'apporter ma meilleure contribution. Donc au fil du temps, cette maison d'hôte m'a vraiment apporté beaucoup de joie, beaucoup de plaisir, mais physiquement parlant, je suis une femme et c'était beaucoup de travaux physiques, notamment couper le bois l'hiver pour pouvoir justement chauffer notre maison, faire beaucoup de maintenance et d'intendance dans cette maison et j'ai eu une capsulite. Mon épaule s'est bloquée. Et de ce fait, là, ça a été l'arrêt forcé pour pouvoir justement me remettre en cause. Donc j'étais en grande souffrance, ça a duré 1 mois et demi, je ne dormais plus la nuit. Et je voyais ma maman qui prenait le relais justement sur toutes les tâches physiques. Et là, j'ai fait un appel à la vie de me donner la possibilité de gagner de l'argent sans rien faire. Alors, le lendemain ou le surlendemain, Numi est arrivé dans ma vie. J'avais déjà eu un flyer concernant les produits. J'avais vu que le produit était extraordinaire en termes de détoxification, de réduction des inflammations. Et c'était justement ce que j'étais en train de mettre en place dans ma vie, puisque je faisais une détox alimentaire naturellement, puisque j'ai cette sensibilité de faire attention à tout ce que l'on mange, à tout ce que l'on met dans notre corps. Notre corps est un outil incroyable pour nous aider à comprendre qui nous sommes et à améliorer notre vie. Donc, je travaille là-dessus depuis très longtemps. Donc, faisant cette détox, cette amie donc qui m'a parlé du produit me dit tiens, regarde ce soir il y a une conférence. Je vois la conférence et là j'ai été complètement fascinée par la détoxification possible, puisqu'on j'entendais des témoignages disant que on allait pouvoir vraiment nettoyer le corps en profondeur et c'était mon objet. J'avais aussi la vision qu'avec tout ce qui se passe dans le monde, on est sujet à des pollutions et à des choses qui ne me plaisent pas du tout, qui sont à l'encontre de mes valeurs. Et là j'ai eu la vision d'aider le monde entier à récupérer une meilleure santé. Le plan de commissionnement m'a fascinée. Le 3 qui font 3 qui font 3. J'ai de suite pensé au film avec ce petit garçon qui, lors de son projet d'école pour changer le monde, montre à son professeur justement cette possibilité d'aider la Terre à évoluer et à changer en aidant 3 personnes qui pour remercier, aide aussi 3 personnes pour quelque chose qui compte vraiment. Et là, le Power Tree qui était présent dans cette opportunité me fait dire, mais waouh, on est exactement dans le film Le Monde Meilleur, c'est exactement ce que je veux moi aussi. Donc, je me suis lancée, j'ai pas tout compris, mais j'ai senti au fond de mes cellules, au fond de moi, que ce produit était ce dont j'avais besoin et que cette opportunité financière allait me permettre de gagner enfin ma vie à la hauteur de ce que je mérite. Au bout de 3 mois, j'avais effectivement atteint mon objectif avec 4 mois exactement, pardon. J'avais atteint mon Power Tree, donc j'avais atteint les $1 500, les 3 qui font 3 qui font 3. J'ai eu la vision énorme d'aider un maximum de personnes. J'ai fait de suite des réunions chez moi parce que pour moi, c'était inévitable qu'il fallait que je le partage au plus grand nombre. J'ai eu un témoignage qui m'a absolument bousculée, j'en ai même eu 2. Ma maman, qui au bout d'1 mois et demi ne portait plus de lunettes. Et donc la vision business que j'avais au point d'aider un maximum de gens à retrouver une autonomie financière alliée avec les résultats que je pouvais voir sur moi et sur mes amis autour et ma maman m'ont complètement conforté dans le fait que j'étais dans une puissance, dans quelque chose d'absolument énorme, quelque chose d'hors du commun. J'ai été appelée, j'ai le sentiment d'avoir toujours attendu cette opportunité. Depuis, c'est vrai que je me suis de suite lancée dans du coaching, dans de l'accompagnement. Ça, je le fais depuis très longtemps, d'accompagner les gens. Mais ça a été une évidence pour moi de l'apporter à travers Nemi, à travers justement cette possibilité de faire grandir et de faire croître toutes les personnes autour de moi vers une vie meilleure, vers une vie pleine de sens et vers la possibilité justement de pouvoir s'épanouir à la fois dans quelque chose que l'on aime, dans de la valeur, dans un produit qui nous apporte quelque chose de plus que n'importe quel produit, puisque c'est pas vraiment, moi, le business qui m'intéresse, c'est l'ensemble, c'est l'opportunité Nemi, c'est les valeurs Nemi, c'est la valeur du corporate avec Steven Scott, avec Aaron, avec Sergio, avec Chris, avec Ryan, avec Anton, toutes ces personnes que j'ai eu encore la chance de rencontrer sur la croisière, puisque donc j'ai atteint le rang diamant. Et toutes ces valeurs-là, alliées au produit, à la puissance du produit, Berthe aussi, le chimiste, avec qui j'ai eu la chance de pouvoir manger sur le bateau, avec qui j'ai échangé de cœur à cœur et qui m'a beaucoup touchée. En fait, c'est la conviction, je l'avais pressenti quand je suis arrivée le 7 janvier 2023. J'ai reçu les produits le 10. J'ai vécu cette incroyable transformation le 10 de me dire waouh, je peux dormir avec un produit alors que ça fait 1 mois et demi que je dors pas. Et tout ça fait qu'aujourd'hui, j'ai envie de le partager au plus grand nombre. On est vraiment au bon endroit, au bon moment. On est dans une phase de notre vie où aujourd'hui, on sait que la société est ultra polluée. On vit dans un environnement qui ne favorise pas notre santé, qui ne favorise pas notre bien-être. Nous, en France, on a vraiment des conditions politiques et économiques qui sont catastrophiques. Nemi est une réponse à mes prières, ça c'est sûr, mais Nemi est une réponse pour beaucoup d'entre nous et pour tous ceux qui auront la vision comme moi, qui ont la vision comme beaucoup de mes partenaires d'ailleurs. J'ai une partenaire qui s'éclate aujourd'hui et qui se révèle dans le fait de partager Nemi. Elle est en train de faire une ascension incroyable en quelques mois et je sais qu'elle me rejoindra bientôt au rang des diamants. Et rien que pour ça, je continuerai longtemps à partager les produits. Nemi, c'est ma maison, Nemi, c'est chez moi, Nemi, c'est ma famille. Et j'ai vraiment à cœur de pouvoir le partager au plus grand nombre. Je suis disponible pour ça. J'aide toute l'équipe francophone, toute équipe confondue, parce que pour moi, c'est la valeur Nemi, c'est la valeur de cette entreprise. Et je ferai mon maximum pour accompagner et pour être présente et pour que Nemi puisse être connue du plus grand nombre autour de nous. Alors merci Steven Scott, merci à toute sa famille, merci à toutes les personnes du corporate, à toute mon équipe, à tous mes partenaires avec qui on construit nos événements aussi régulièrement. Merci à vous tous parce que je vis la plus belle période de ma vie et je suis tellement heureuse de voir toutes ces transformations et tous ces gens se révéler, s'épanouir et grandir au quotidien. Je vous remercie de m'avoir écouté et puis à très bientôt pour la suite.
Beautiful. Now, I want to see as a test now how much of that you picked up. But you know what? One thing that transcends language is passion. Who agrees with that, right? Passion. And it just oozes out of her. So it doesn't even matter if you have the right words. If you have passion, people are going to hitch their wagon to that, which is fantastic. And as someone said in their takeaways, her motivation wasn't for money. It was to be her best self. And she leveraged the power of 3, the $1,500 in the fourth month, which is fantastic. And of course, she's continued to share the products and make a difference around the world. There was some really cool stuff she talked about in there as well, about some results on the product. But because of what she said, I had to delete it. So just know that there's much more transformations going out there in the world than the reducing inflammation and boosting your energy and all that sort of stuff. But I couldn't play it because unfortunately we would have to delete the event. But she is an example of that ripple effect as well, because again, Anne has come in the business way, way, way down under a whole heap of other people. I think it was through Larry, through Nicole, through Mei Chung, lots of different people in the business. So you never know where a phone call's going to take you. That's French. I love France because they sound like they're romantically talking about something, even if they're taking the rubbish out. But it's an amazing accent to listen to. Now, let's finish off with an English speaking one just to have your brain catch up. But I think, you know what? They say, I know when my dad had dementia, they say, you know, you've just got to doing so many different things to keep your brain active. Right now, you just had a marathon reading that, didn't you? Right. And unfortunately, now I know how the poor people feel when they're reading English or their language subtitles underneath Michael Firth. Now, this is a good buddy of mine. And again, the ripple effect is amazing. So have a listen to this guy.
Hi everyone, my name is Keith Chasson. My wife Jamie and I are double diamonds with Numi. You know, my background after high school, went into the United States Air Force, did that for about 10 years, and then I got into sales, automotive sales, and then into finance, and also then on into being a property manager for a vacation rental company out of Florida. But the entire time since 1989, we've been involved in home-based entrepreneurship, network marketing. We started off our journey with the Amway Corporation, and over the years we've had some successes, but some dismal disappointments as well along the way. And you know, we first were introduced to Numi and hydrostatin molecular encapsulation, specifically for the glutathione product, the NutraSwish. We weren't really looking for anything. I wasn't looking for an opportunity, a business. In fact, I kind of written the industry off. I was just not gonna, because I didn't like the wonkiness, the craziness that was going on in the industry. So I just relegated the fact that I was gonna get into some short-term rental stuff. Gonna buy some properties and put them on Airbnb or VRBO. But a friend of ours had a different plan. She shared this amazing 2-minute video that I really heard three things. I heard nano sublingual and glutathione. I got really excited because I knew what glutathione was. I knew what the significance that would make to the body at a cellular level. So, you know, we got started and we started sharing with a few people. And then those people led to a few more people who led to a few more people. And, you know, our business started to grow. And within the first, I guess, 6 to 8 months, we reached the diamond level, then double diamond, and pretty exciting stuff. And I owe it all to the efficacy of the product. You know, the how well the product works is what made that difference. And you know, so really cool thing is, you know, you might just know a handful of people like we did. We had a handful of family friends, a lot of Facebook friends, and social media world, right? But the thing is they knew some people who knew some people who knew some people, and just because of bringing on one individual team member, our network expanded to over 6 continents. There's 7 of them. We're on 6 of the 7 continents, and that eventually led to a double diamond ship in Greece. Amazing how the ripple effect works, right? And so we couldn't be more excited with the Numi opportunity, specifically the duplicatable system called Numi 123. You see, that's a key to replication. That's a key to longevity and sustainability, is having a system that is duplicatable and that works. And so Numi has that with the Numi 123 system. Again, you know, one thing that really solidified the whole thing, when I mentioned earlier how great the product works, how efficacious it was. For me, I'd been dealing with a shoulder injury for over a year, and I tried out all the things, anything you can imagine that you would do if you had such an intense discomfort level. I tell people on a scale of 1 to 10, 1, I barely felt any discomfort. 10, it was so strong I'd want to cut my arm off. Well, a lot of times it was a 12. You know, it was a lot higher than that. And so when I seen that someone had figured out a way to get glutathione into the cell and by bypassing the gut, I got excited because I knew what that meant, the potentiality of that. So we jumped in and we ordered it, and literally within 48 hours of using the NutraSwish, you know, I was able to sleep. I tell people like a Lionel Richie song, right? I slept all night long for the first time in almost a year. I literally sat on the edge of my bed and wept. And I'm not saying a NutraSwish had anything to do with it, but I am telling you that it's the only thing that I had done differently since we started. And I had those amazing results within 48 hours. My body finally had something that it can use to help calm the heat that was going on throughout my body, and pretty remarkable. So we love it. We're excited about it. We're more excited about not just where Numi is today, but where they're going in the future, with future developments in the product world, with future expansions. And the hydrostatin molecular encapsulation is going to take over the supplement world. And we're glad that we're part of it. And we're excited that you could be too. So thanks so much. Have a great one. See ya.
Beautiful. And you're hot on the buzzer there, Christine. Typing in, I was going to say, what are the takeaways from this one? Christine's already retyped them. So efficacy of the products, the ripple effect again, now in 6 continents, right? 6 continents. That's led to double diamond ship increase. And you know what? Even for me, this is what I love about this industry. You guys maybe don't even know how big the heart of Numi is, but there's a beautiful guy who's a great friend. We call each other brothers now, which is actually George in Greece and Andreas. And if you didn't see it, Andreas and George gave me this amazing award that blew my mind, had me in tears. I couldn't speak when I was over there. But the friendship is the key point. And do you know, Numi actually gifted to George a electric wheelchair. Did you know that? That's something Numi did. He didn't have one, and he wouldn't be able to attend a lot of the events without it. And I know how many thousands of dollars it cost. It wasn't a cheap thing, but that just shows the heart of the organization you're with. Do you think some companies would do that? Probably not. And so today's event, if you look at it holistically, I want you to really get, this is about the ripple effect. This is about the difference you're going to make people's lives. So is it just about, and I'll focus on what Keith just said, Keith had a product experience with these, achy joints. Sure, that might open the conversation, but look at the ripple effect around the world from an opportunity perspective. Now, I want to finish with this too. Some people, they will actually demonize the business. It's like, oh, just go product. No, I don't go business and I don't go product. Anyone talks to you about that, say, bring the pendulum in the middle. Opportunity to check out product, opportunity to check out business. Don't play God, stay in the middle. Don't go business crazy on its own. Don't go product crazy on its own. Sit in the middle, pitch this thing holistically to people with heart and integrity, and you never know the difference you're going to make. So guys, as we wrap this up, I want you to type in, has this event touched you in any ways? Has it made any difference to you? And if it has, get this recording, which will be on YouTube, to every single one of your members. There's only 2 reasons they won't be engaging. Either A, they haven't got a list, and we can work on that. We've done some previous events on how to grow your list, right? We did one only a couple of weeks ago with Karen and Alex. And 2, they don't have internal belief in themselves or internal belief in the business, Numi, or internal belief in the network marketing industry. And if you watch today and you don't get what you've got in your hands is absolutely going to transform lives across the world, the only roadblock is right here, and you can remove that, guys. So I hope you enjoyed today's session, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.